Good morning, friends. Welcome to the first path of Dream It. हम किस गली जा रहे हैं? This is one of the question you can ask with yourself. Once I was stuck up in a traffic jam on my way to Gurgaon. After a while, I got out of my car to estimate the intensity. It was huge. I saw so many vehicles lined one after the other. Some furious riders were honking, some drivers were giving their rightful curse to the government, and so on. After seeing this, when I got back into my car, my mind started to think, how many people stuck up in the traffic jam have had a dream and are truly living it? Because a few of them literally seemed to me that they were doing a favor to themselves by being alive. Whenever I come across such people, it pains me because I feel somehow they might have gotten away from their dreams. I call this a purposeless life. Following the same old routine of waking up, rushing to somewhere, coming back home at night, eating, sleeping, and then heading to the next day with the same pattern again. No one knows where you are heading. Seeing a dream is important, and working to make it happen is paramount. I feel that people who have put a certain curtain between themselves and their dreams live in some sort of fear. One of my friends wanted to become a scientist when we were in school. He was from a middle class family. As we grew up and choose different colleges for further studies, his priorities changed. The guy who once dreamed of becoming a scientist started focusing on taking up a job so that he could gather money to fulfill his dreams. Almost 5 years later, his family started pushing him to get married, which he did as he could not say no to his parents. His dream to become a scientist went on the back burner. His belief changed. When we met recently, I asked him about his dream, and his reply stunned me. He summed it all up by saying, money does not grow on trees. Someone who could have done hard work to earn money and then put it into his life changing career opted out of it by merely believing that I wish money grew on tree so that I could have fulfilled my dream to become a scientist and do something extraordinary for my country. I do not buy his excuse. My friend left his dream far behind to earn and provide his family with the necessities. Though now my friend's focus is entirely on survival, he still gets excited whenever we talk about his career as a scientist. But he knows it just remains on his wishes bucket list, which he will not fulfill in his lifetime. Everybody has a dream, but not all can hold them for a long time. People's priorities keep changing with time. Their dreams become just a wish, and then they drag and drop it into their wishes list cart. I must tell you here that there is a vast difference between a wish and a dream. When I saw a Bollywood king Shah Rukh Khan's movie Dilwale Dulhaniya Le Jayenge, I also wishes to have the red car he drove in the film. I was very young back then, and like every youngster would probably get fascinated with all these luxuries brands. I too got into the web of the imagination to own that same red car someday. My car's wish list kept changing with time. I never landed on any one focused vehicle, and after some time I forgot about all those cars. So why did I forgot? I was because it was because of my fascination. What makes you and me different from the rest of the living beings on this planet? Animal, bird, plants, insects, reptiles, and even amoebas live on our Mother Earth. They can move, eat their respective food, and coexist with us. The only thing that gives us an edge over other living beings is that we have evolved physically and mentally. But most importantly, our evolution has enabled us in intellectual growth, and thus we have the power to dream. Our dream give us the purpose to live our lives in the best possible manner. Without a dream, A person's life is like a airplane without wings. Imagine if an aircraft does not have wings, it will be ready to take off but cannot because it cannot fly. And after that, it will be put either in the hangar or sent to some scrap company. I honestly do not know what happened to such aircraft. The situation seems similar for those individuals whose lives are without dreams. This means that do not have any purpose in life. They are just alive and surviving somehow. On the other hand, some people always want something or the other on their lives. If you are one of them, then you might have surely noticed that on and off you get attracted to so many things in your lives and get off from the actual path of your dream. Getting attracted to things that come your way never serves the purpose. It leaves you in the lurch to want more. But what? That's the question that your dream will help you find out. I have found that a dream is built on the WLF principle. What is WLF principle? Okay. What we watch means W. What we listen means L. What we feel means F. Means watch, listen, and feel. I'll explain this with a simple example from my life. When I was in class 10th, Bollywood actor Amir Khan's movie Kayamat Se Kayamat Tak was released. I watched it a couple of times as I was inspired by Amir Khan's role in the film. I was so much influenced that I decided that I will pursue acting as a career after completing college. However, by the time I reached class 11th, I found I could not become an actor. I belong to a middle class family at that time. My family could hardly bear the expenses of my studies. So, burdening them with a demand did not look right to me. I felt helpless. I truly wanted to become an actor, but could not, as there was no proper directions. And to explore this field, I had to leave my home and explore further, which I could not become of the lack of sufficient fund. So I decided again I may not pursue an acting career, but I could do something differently. I grew up seeing my mom picking the lunchbox every day for my father, who would pick it up every day exactly from the brown colored table kept in the dining room, and then after returning, my dad would keep the empty tiffin back at the same place. It seemed to me that sometimes the lunch box adjusted itself to stay true to the exact spot. Well, well, seeing this every day somehow hurt me and shook me to the core, and I decided not follow my dad's footsteps. I would never do my kind of job. I had told myself quite a few times back then. After daily affirming myself of the same thing, my mind slowly started to accept what I wanted, but my close ones except my immediate family never did. While I was staying in my own world, I exploring what to do and what not to. My father told me that his day of retirement was inching closer, and being the older one, I in the family of four, I was supposed to take all the responsibilities, especially the ones related to finances. On my shoulders, I wanted to, but I had already decided not to go for my job. Meanwhile, being an Amir Khan's fan, I never stopped watching his movie. I, in most of the flicks, he would play the role of an entrepreneur. So I decided I wanted to become a successful entrepreneur. And since I could not become an actor, I still had what strong affinity for the sake. After learning about various industries from different professionals, I become sure to combine stage plus entrepreneurship and become a trainer. As time passed, I learned many things in my career, made a fortune, lost a fortune, become bankrupt, and then rose again. My story seems filmy, but I stuck up to my dream throughout my journey and kept analyzing it thorough. The WLF principle. Today, I am India's leading network marketing coach, holding a PhD, and have been honored with national and international recognitions. Now, let's identify how I associate it with the WLF principle. The first one, what we watch. I have been watching my dad take a full tiffin box every day and keep the empty one back when he returned from the office. First, it pained me and triggered me to dare what I should not to do. Second, watching Amir Khan's movie gave me hope, and a direction to become what I am today. Now let's talk about what we listen to. I turned my mind and told it to speak my language only. Had I listened to what others, except my family members, said when I was struggling and learning in my career, I would have unfollowed my dreams and walked on the defined path as everyone else does. What we feel, I would say, this particular emotion kept me going from time to time. The feeling of pain, sacrifices, compromises, and adjustments kept me dream alive. It strengthened me day by day and helped me create such a vision that I would never forget. I would just feel that vision in front of my eyes, whether while in my sleep or being alive. Here, what I am going to tell you is very important. Mark my words, there are two major types of dreams. One that is just as light as air. You see a car bought by your neighbor, and then you feel you must have such a car one day, and then you walk some miles, see a better car, erase the memory of your neighbor's car, and think you will have the car model you saw on the road, and better version that will not happen. That's something which will blow into the air. Second, there is a dream with weight, which you can see while sleeping, walking, or talking. Something that keeps you away at night. And still, you do not get tired of seeing it. Such dreams stick with you because the dream you own and later become your reason to live. What happens when your dream gets murdered? I clearly remember the day of one of my workshops at Satya Sai Auditorium in New Delhi. In 2006, I was delivering the workshop on dreams. When I explained the dream philosophy to everyone, a participant raised his hand and sought permission on to speak while interrupting me. I always encourage the participants to speak and participate in my workshops. And since the participant showed the courage to speak in front of over 800 people, I was glad. I allowed him to share his views or ask a question. And his words were, "Sir, I disagree with what you are saying about the dreams. Anyone who belongs to a middle class family is not supposed to see the dreams. It is meant only for upper class people. You see Ambani's, Tata's, and Birla's, while a commoner who may have dreamed of something cannot fulfill it as he only struggle with earning well with his family, taking care of the loved ones and being responsible towards his actions. The participants' view seemed interesting, and I could hear some people nodding a yes as they silently agreed with his view. I invited him on the stage and he talked to me further. Let me remind you, everything was happening in front of over 800 people. My first question to him was, "My friend, do you have any dream or had any in the past? If yes, what was it?" He said, "Yes, I once wanted to become a chartered accountant. I was studying in school back then, and one of my relative was a CA. He owned a car and had his own 4 BHK house. I wanted to become like him. But after class 10th, I slowly forget that dream, especially when I saw my pre-board and board marks in mathematics subject. The elder in my family suggested I drop the idea of becoming a chartered accountant. Therefore, I could proceed with commerce because of my poor marks. I further continued with arts subject. I scored lesser in class 12th as I had no interest in the art stream. And you know, the story that good colleague deny admission to the student who scored low. I was going through the same. Somehow, I got admitted to a local government college and started my career with a small job earning a minimal income. After so many years of my private job, I am still struggling to meet my ends. I cannot fulfill all the wishes of my little daughter, not even the required ones. It always upsets me seeing these things. I asked him certain questions and helped the participant think through what opportunity he could get further and be able to fulfill his and his family's wishes. It's easy to blame the situations and people around you. Did you see how this participant's dream was first crushed and then murdered? Who do you think was responsible for creating the situation in the above participant's story? I have seen people either blame a person or a situation, but somewhere, somehow, You have to take responsibility. You cannot blame a situation or a person for murdering your dream. It's unnecessary from whatever class, lower, middle, or upper you belong. Remember, your dream matters. The purpose you are giving to fulfill your dream matters. How serious are you about achieving your dream? This matters. Rest, I know, and I can guarantee are just excuses. You have to be sure what you are doing. One evening, when I was walking near my house, a younger man who seemed confused walked towards me and asked, "Sir, do you know where this road is going?" I was already in a cheerful mood. I smiled and replied to him with a question. "Where do you want to go, dear?" His reply, "Sir, I do not know. I just want to know where this road is going." I replied to him, "Well, if you do not know where you have to go, then this road is exactly going where you want to go." The person was slightly irritated with my answer and went away. Checks out with your inner self. If that confused person is dwelling inside you, someone who is running for so many things and on so many pathways, but they do not know about the destination where they want to reach. Whether you increase your speed or change your path, you will go nowhere. If you do not see the destination, it will be like you are running on a treadmill, running and running, yet going nowhere. Right now, what should you do? And the first question, ask your WHY, means why. Why this dream? Means what is hurting you is fulfilling the dream. I'm going you the 5 question mantra to you so that you can analyze yourself. The first question, why do you see this dream? Second question, why this dream is important to me? Third question, what I can sacrifice for this dream? Fourth question, what I will feel when this dream is fulfilled? Fifth question, if I will leave this dream, then what will be the consequences? Once you answer all these 5 questions, you will get an exact direction on where you are heading. Whether you have a destination to reach or if you are running on a treadmill. So friends, I hope you have enjoyed this first path of this Dream It. And remember my words that without seeing the book and without touching the book, you cannot find the feel that I would have right now. So I would suggest to get this book right now. For your convenience, I just provide the link through which you can get this book at your doorstep just below in the description. So please click it and get it your own copy either in Hindi or in English. And also, if you want to enjoy the Dr. Lalit Arora's live workshop online, I am suggesting you to please click on the link also. Thank you so much for listening this audio, and please wait for the next path, that is chapter 1. Thank you so much, and remember, please share it with 5 of your friends. Thank you so much.